Thank you. Good morning, everybody. First, let me thank for inviting me here. I feel really honored to share with you my views. I was asked to provide a perspective from Europe. It means that I would have to repeat probably some of the ideas which were already provided to you by my previous speaker. At the same time, I will not speak about the Polish perspective, which is not the same in many instances as the European Union perspective is. But let me start, as I am a Minister of Environment, not a Minister for Energy. Let me start with the remark on the climate change. I believe that climate change calls for mitigation and adaptation measures at the global level. Last year in Warsaw, we were host for the COP19 conference, which probably paved the way to Paris next year. I think it was a successful event, and currently we also are involved in the negotiation process in this negotiation as far as the climate change is concerned. But at the same time, energy is and will remain a vital part of our modern lifestyle. Energy investments have to take into account wide context, including energy security. I would like to discuss today this subject, the energy security. For the European Union, it is now a key factor for our climate and energy policies. Especially after the Ukrainian crisis, it is obvious that in this sector, business as usual is no longer an option. In January this year, the European Commission launched a climate and energy package with the ambitious goal of reduction of 40% of greenhouse gas emission in 2030. Today we are watching also the Iraq developments. I am even more convinced that energy security became even more important. Let me start that I believe that the European Union is and will remain the leader in this climate change front. This is why, as I said, the European Commission launched this new climate energy package, but it was before these events this spring. In March, European Council called on European Commission to conduct a study on European energy security. We expect secure energy supplies, uninterrupted access to energy at an affordable price. This report was provided by the European Commission 2 weeks ago, and the opinions which are there are not very optimistic, at least as this is my opinion, that the remarks which you can find there, they are not quite optimistic. From one side, of course, you may say that the European Union energy system is increasingly integrated. We have energy directive, we have directive on competition rules, etc. We have increasing interconnectors, but at the same time, member states are importing, for instance, gas and oil from quite often from the same supplier country on bilateral contracts. These contracts are not transparent, so the price differences for the end users are quite different. Up to 40% the differences are between consumers in different European countries. So my point is that we really need in Europe to fully implement the EU energy and competition rules, including these rules to these contracts. The contracts should be more transparent in order to reduce these price differences. But when you read this report provided by the Commission, you see that the major achievement in increasing energy security in European Union was in falling demand by 8% in last 8 years, mostly due to the crisis, I believe, and due to the efficiency improvements. But in contrast to what I heard about Turkey today, the demand in Europe for energy has been decreased. We also know that at the same time, from this report, the import dependency ratio is higher by 10 percentage points, and Europe, and it reached over 50% now, mostly due to the decline of the European production of gas and oil. So Europe depends to much extent on the import of energy. And even if we implement these measures, if we reach this goal, which is foreseen by European Commission, I'm referring to this climate and energy package. If we reach this goal of reduction of 40% green gas emission, the dependency on import of energy will be higher in 2030. So what do we really need to increase our energy security? First, as I said, fully integrated energy markets. Here we need more interconnectors, more storage capacities for gas, for instance. We need also better governance of these markets. We need also diversification of supply of oil and gas. Here I would refer mostly to the idea of enhancing of our, as Europe, bargaining power vis-à-vis to our supplier, mostly the gas supplier. We also believe that energy efficiency is the measure to increase our energy security. And the last, I still believe that there is a margin to increase domestic production. In Poland, we believe that the shale gas is one of the answers to this question, how to increase our production. We are leader in Europe as far as the shale gas, not yet production, but the exploration. So we have over 60 drillings for the shale gas. We are hoping that this year maybe we'll have the first drill which will have the production capacity. I would say that all these 4 major measures to increase the energy security are step-by-step progress in Europe, but the pace is not sufficient in my view. We have to really speed up this process. This is why Poland proposed in March idea of the energy union for the European Union, for the energy market, like we are progressing with the banking union after the financial crisis 2009. Next week, European Council will discuss again the climate and energy package for 2030, but after recent events, the context is very different than that one in January when the the package was launched by the Commission. Energy security factor caused that business as usual approach is not an option anymore. And I believe this is the idea which will stay with us today when we discuss the investments for future also in Europe. Thank you.